Let's go to a man who was at the rally today, Peter Ridd, who's chairman of the Australian Environment Foundation. Thanks for joining us, Peter. Tell us about the gathering there and whether you think it got through to the politicians who need to hear about it inside Parliament House. I showed earlier how Monique Ryan seemed to think the protest was despicable.
Well, there was a really good crowd, and when you consider there was probably nobody from within a couple of hours of Canberra, the Canberra bubble, there was people from North Queensland, people from South Australia. They came from all over, and it was a wonderful crowd. And I have absolutely no doubt that there would have been people from the government who would have been checking that out and thought, this is a well-organised bunch who are bringing together a lot of people who are completely upset with the aristocracy in the middle of the cities telling country folk what to do on all sorts of things. And also, coming out and saying how some of these wind farms are absolutely destroying the environment. I think the point was well made today, and it was extremely well organised.
I think it was. I think the politicians will be worried because these are spread across many electorates. Some of them are actually marginal electorates on the fringes of the big cities. And Chris Bowen addressed the issue in Parliament, but he didn't seem to be very empathetic. Have a listen. Oh, we don't have that grab of Chris Bowen, sorry, but take it from me, he wasn't very empathetic. He said that renewable projects are all good for the regions. Well, really good if you've got a solar farm next door just out of Goulburn. Now, while I've got you here, Peter, I want to get your thoughts on something else. We talked about this last week. So much of the country was warned last September, October about this being the hot, dry summer, to the extent that some farmers actually destocked. They sold off their sheep in particular, thinking that feed was going to be very, very low over the summer. We've turned out having such a wet and mild summer across most of the continent. Did you see this coming? Was this a forecast that the Bureau never should have made?
I think that's probably right. A lot of people are saying that their long-term forecasting, the El Nino, was really not very good, and that some of the other groups from around the world have done a lot better. And the fault with the Bureau has been is they really haven't given an indication of the uncertainty in their prediction. I'm on record of saying that I think they're very short-term predictions, like we've just had a couple of cyclones in North Queensland, and they do really well on the short term, but their longer-term stuff and their climate stuff is an absolute disaster. So I think we do need to look at the long-term Bureau and also the way they deal with the whole climate change issue, which is a total sham in my view.
Yeah, they seem too keen to talk up the climate aspects rather than focusing on the data at hand. We'll keep on that because they don't like to talk to us, but we like to talk to a range of experts. Thanks for joining us, Peter. Look forward to joining you again in the future. Peter Ridd there, who now heads up the Australian Environment Foundation. He chairs it.